Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is May 23rd, 2025, and one of the African talents that Barcelona had signed during this summer will be returning home. Also, Barcelona have identified two young and up-and-coming players, one in the Norwegian League and the other one at the Ajax Academy. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that one of the young talented Ghanaian players that Barcelona signed during this summer will be returning home, and we are talking about Abdel Aziz Issah, the 19-year-old right winger who can also play on the left and also as an attacking midfielder. Was someone that Barcelona signed back in the summer from Dream FC on a one-year loan. Someone that came to Barcelona with lots of hype because he was one of the most promising players to come out of the Dreams FC Academy. But unfortunately, after spending an entire season in Barcelona, the player did not seem to fit with many of the coaches that have trained him, and Barcelona will not be exercising the option to buy in the loan contract. And as such, Abdel Aziz Issah will be going back to his current club, Dreams FC. So, what a shame there. I was really hoping that perhaps Abdel Aziz Issah could be, a breakthrough talent through the Barcelona Academy, but unfortunately, it did not work. On the other hand, though, we still have, of course, Ibrahim Diarra, who killed it this season with Juvenil A, winning that treble, of course, with Giuliano Belletti. So hopefully Diarra will continue working his way up through the categories, and one day we'll hopefully see him on the first team. Of course, we still have David Oduro. These are the three talented players that Barcelona had signed from the African continent after Barcelona decided to increase their scouting efforts in said continent. Now, another player that doesn't seem will be coming to Barcelona, or that Barcelona will not be signing, someone that Barcelona a few days ago had some hopes that maybe they would have a shot, and that's no other than Necer Villarreal. Now, Necer Villarreal is a 20-year-old right winger known for his pace, dribbling, and ability to score goals. He currently plays for Millonarios in the Colombian League, and his contract expires at the end of this year in December of 2025. And Barcelona had been tracking this player for quite some time, but given their limited financial fair play and finances, they weren't able to sign him. So he ended up Atletico Madrid ended up reaching a deal with Millonarios for the signing of Villarreal. However, the player refused to go with Atletico Madrid, blowing up the whole agreement into pieces. But it seems that Atletico Madrid did not give up. They continued negotiations, and now they have reached a new agreement to sign Necer Villarreal for 6 million euros. So it looks like Villarreal will be headed, after all, to the Madrid-based club, unless all of a sudden, he decides to blow up this agreement. So far, that hasn't happened. So it looks like Barcelona's hopes for signing Villarreal, which had just been renewed a few days ago, have once again been shattered. Now, speaking of up-and-coming talent, Barcelona have identified two players that they're interested in signing. Of course, we talked about the two players from Monaco during the live podcast, which if you haven't seen it, make sure you do. But now there are two other youngsters that Barcelona have identified. Of course, Barcelona are constantly looking for young and up-and-coming talent that they can sign for a good price, because A, the club's finances doesn't allow them to sign, big name stars that cost a lot of money, and B, because honestly, it's a more economically feasible thing to do, to sign young players for very low, because if they work out, you hit the jackpot. You just sign a big star, or someone that became a big star for almost nothing. If it doesn't work out, no big deal. You lose $1 million, maybe $2 million, as opposed to losing, 130 mil on a failed signing like that of Dembele. Now, the first young player that Barcelona are very interested in and have been tracking for some time is Mikkel Bro Hansen. Mikkel Bro Hansen is a 16-year-old center forward who currently plays for Bodo. He caught the attention of Barcelona after scoring a hat-trick on his debut in the Norwegian Cup, which you might say, it's a Norwegian Cup, who cares? Wow, 16 years old, scoring a hat-trick on your debut, I think that's a huge, huge deal. And if that wasn't impressive enough, on his second match after his first match, which was his debut, he scored another hat-trick. So if one wasn't enough, he followed up by yet another hat-trick. And Mikkel Bro-Hansen also played in the semifinals of the Europa League against Tottenham, which of course Tottenham ended up winning, and then they ended up winning the whole Europa League because it looks like the Harry Kane curse is real after all. But anyways, coming back to Mikkel Bro-Hansen, his contract does expire in 2027, so of course that means this is a good opportunity to sign him, or if he decides to stay in Bodo next summer will be a great opportunity to sign him. But of course he's also caught the attention of other European clubs, so Barcelona will have some competition, but so far it looks very promising. Plus he does have the name or the word bro in his name. I mean, come on, if that's not enough, I don't know what is. Anyways, the other young player that Barcelona have identified and are interested in is out of the Ajax Academy, and it's Abdullah Wazani, the 16-year-old center midfielder, the 16-year-old Moroccan center midfielder who came up through the Ajax Academy. And of course, any player that comes up through the Ajax Academy, Barcelona always pay attention to, because as we know, Ajax have a very similar philosophy when it comes to playing football. And well, Abdullah Wazani is the latest player that has caught the attention of Barcelona, who are very, very interested in signing. But of course, just like Mikkel Bro-Hansen, Barcelona are also going to have competition for Abdullah Wazani, more specifically from Manchester United and PSG, two clubs who have also declared interest in the Moroccan midfielder. Now, let's talk about young players, young talented players that we do have, starting with Lamin Yamal, because reports have surfaced that La Masia graduate is planning a summer trip, during his vacation to Brazil, where he's going to meet up with Neymar, where Neymar is going to take him around Brazil, take him to festivals, festivities, parties, etc. This report has not been confirmed 100%, but the reason I bring it up is because I don't know about you guys, but it does concern me a little bit that Lamin Yamal will be hanging out with Neymar in Brazil. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the football side, because of course Neymar was a great player, or still is a great player. Lamin Yamal, of course, his idol is Neymar, so the two of them linking up maybe on the field or in training, I think would be great, because Neymar can pass down so much knowledge to Lamin Yamal. After all, Lamin Yamal reminds me a lot of Neymar. But the fact that the two of them will be hanging out in Brazil, going to parties, festivals, that does concern me a little bit, because after all, we all know how Neymar's career ended up because of all the partying and all the festivities. So hopefully Lamin Yamal doesn't learn that part from Neymar. Hopefully he just, learns the footballistic side from Neymar. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Now, the other young talented player that is at Barcelona is, of course, Pau Cubarsí. And in regards to Cubarsí, I do have good news, because given the absence of some defenders from the Spanish national team, because some of them are gonna be playing the Club World Cup, the Royal Spanish Football Federation were considering calling up Pau Cubarsí for the Nations League with the Spanish national team, but also they were considering calling him up to the European Under-21 competition, which of course would have meant that Pau Cubarsí would have spent most of his summer playing for Spain and the other half of the summer training with Barcelona as a preseason. But thankfully, the Royal Spanish Football Federation have decided not to do this. It's of course great news, because after all, Pau Cubarsí has played it all in all competition, and the guy deserves some rest. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did do the podcast earlier today. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, cars.